Anshika,
Hi.
you are someone who is deeply passionate about your heritage and your roots.
Yeah,
You are someone who's from the city of Banaras
yeah,
in Uttar Pradesh, in
yeah,
North India.
yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
For sure, for sure. That's something that I can probably write a book on. So talking is nearly nothing compared to that. So it's even written on the books, and it's a very known thing that I'm sure people watching will also know that it's one of the oldest cities in India, right? And when you enter that place, it actually makes you feel really connected to the roots. Like I've been to Delhi, I've been to Bombay, I've been to so many places. Right now I'm in Melbourne, but there's nothing that can match the warmth of Banaras, you know. That city is known by Kashi, Banaras, Varanasi, so many names. But when you reach that place, you actually feel as a whole. It's like the city, people will often tell you this thing about Varanasi that you only get called to that city. Like the city will call you towards itself and not otherwise. Like there are plans, people make plans there, but they can never make it happen. So eventually it's like, especially we have a lot of temples, you know, and I'm a very spiritual girl like that, and I do believe in all of that. So there's Sankat Mochan, there's Kashi Vishwanath, that's the most hyped place in Varanasi. And so people usually say that it's the god calling you and you're not coming by your own self. And there's a very magical thing about the ghats of Kashi. That's the most Kashi is known for, the ghats and the temples.
What are ghats?
So ghats are basically, it's the Ganges that flows, and it's just beautiful, you know. You're just on the boat, you're on the river, and you can watch the entire city, how old it is. You can see it through your eyes, like, you know, that it's actually old. And I love the fact that it's still not developed, and I will never want it to be as developed as any metro city.
So it's very rustic. It's got its own historical charm.
Exactly,
And it's known as the spiritual capital of India, right?
100%.
Is
yeah.
it because of the Ganges? What's
All of it. So basically, I was talking about the ghats, right? So there's a particular ghat that's called the Manikarnika Ghat, wherein the dead bodies are burned and the ashes
Cremated?
cremated, exactly, and the ashes are flown in the Ganges, right? So you know, when you're crossing that area, you realize that how small life is. All your worries, all your pain and everything, it just goes away in seconds when you look at the bodies getting cremated, you know. You just feel like this is the purpose of life. Everyone one day has to come there, right? So it just makes you feel very tension free about the outer world. You're just like, you understand life way better once you walk those ghats.
ghats? Are basically like they're little hut type things where people are cremated. Basically,
Right. So
or-
basically, there are 80 ghats on the thing, and they have different names. So one of the ghats out of the 80 is the Manikarnika Ghat. So it's like 100 meter, it's one ghat, then another 100 meter, it's another ghat, then 100 meter, another ghat. So it's like that. It's a long flow of that. So Manikarnika is something that people travel from, you know, end parts of India just to burn the ashes down and everything. So it just makes you feel like, you know, you really don't have to be so worried in life, because at the end of the day, this is where you're gonna come. So you actually realize the deepest meaning of life in Varanasi. And I'm telling you, like, it's not just a person who stayed there for like more than 23 years is saying that, but I'm genuinely saying that because I felt that. And it just makes you feel. So there's a very famous saying that even an auto rickshaw guy will tell you in Varanasi that if all your time you'll just be making your bed, when will you get to live on that bed? So it's indirectly that if your entire life you're just making money, when will you get the time to spend it? Right?
Profound.
So, profound, exactly. So it's, you know, it's very beautiful, and when you apply it to real life, it's very true that if all your life you'll just be worried about things, when is the time when you'll actually live your life? When at the end of the day, this is your destiny, the cremation and all of that.
or
This
death, or basically death.
Exactly,
It's a
that
byproduct
is
of life.
exactly.
And you're saying that it reminds you of the transience of life.
Exactly,
Right.
and I mean, I just find myself so grateful whenever I'm walking there, and I even sometimes when I cross that Manikarnika Ghat and all of that, and I just feel like I have so much gratitude that I'm not the one there. Nobody from my family is there. So it just gives you a lot of gratefulness that you're actually doing better than others, and even the little things can make you happy. And the city is just, people are just mad insane, I would say. Like, I mean, I don't know if I can use the term or not, but people really don't care about anything. It's like, they're walking, they'll just say something on your face, the other person didn't listen, the person who said it just felt better after saying it. You take your turn, sorted.
So it's carefree.
Yeah, it's you don't, everybody's minding their own business. Nobody cares about, showing off anything. Even the richest man in the city will be driving a two-wheeler, because that's how that city has always been like. It's not about big houses and big cars, it's about peace and calmness.
So it's about being grounded, not
It's-
really being in a
def-
rat race, and being more spiritually in tune, you could say.
Exactly. And also, I think everybody that you'll meet from Banaras, you'll find this particular thing in them, that they'll just leave everything on God. Because even when I came here, I was facing a lot of problems, job wise, everything, and I just left it thinking that, I have somebody who can take care of this. And all my friends would tell me that, dude, are you mad? Doesn't work like that. You have to do something, you have to do something. But the place that I come from, we hold a lot of trust in His power.
You hold a lot of reverence to the natural laws of the universe working cyclically and in your favor,
Exactly.
and just going with the flow of the universe.
Exactly, because that city has just taught me to not worry about anything, because that gives you nothing in life, dude. That gives you nothing in life. Once you visit Manikarnika Ghat, you realize that, it's being alive is the biggest blessing of all times, and that's the thing you should be the most grateful about.
I think there's something like a 1 in 400 trillion chance of us being born, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And I guess when you see the bodies being cremated,
Yeah.
it kind of makes you realize that everyone will end up there one day, and this moment that we have is the only moment we ever
Exactly,
will have.
and I've seen so many of my close people also being burned down there and all of that. So, that's what makes me think that this is the place where so many people, the good, the bad, the good people, the bad people, whatever, but it's still so positive. So, the good outweighs the bad. So it's like, even if there are bad people in that city, for some reason the good will always eliminate the bad there.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and people are very, very alike. They all are following the same rules, the same pattern. Everybody is waking up, going to their shops, doing their business, coming back, chilling at the ghat, chilling with your friends, coming back home, sleeping, eating simple food. No such lavish hotels, no such lavish restaurants, no Michelin star, nothing. Just a basic, normal, decent restaurant, and you're just having the time of your life. But recently I've been started hating this thing a little, that Banaras has become too much of a tourist spot right now. Everyone's visiting that place because of Kashi Vishwanath and all of these places, and I just feel like that city is losing its charm. And how empty the roads would be when I was probably 13 or 14 years old, and how full the roads are right now when I'm 23, 24 years old. It just makes my heart sulk, and I'm not even kidding.
So it's become very tourism oriented, commercialized
and
in a way.
that's not how I want the others to know my city for. That's not my city for you. My city is all about calmness. It's not about the hustle bustle. No.
So it's serenity, tranquility.
Yeah, I mean, it's losing the charm is all I can say.
What can be done? I mean, at a maybe microcosmic level and then a macrocosmic level to kind of address this and have it
Yes.
maintain its charm.
So basically, I mean, tourists are welcome. I mean, more than welcome. Of course, I mean, there's no problem to that. But I think if, you can always restrict the number of people visiting a temple, right? Let's make sure that only 100 people visit the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir on a Monday. On Tuesday, there's another set of 100 people doing, so that there's the hustle bustle that's under control. Because I remember during Mahakumbh that happened in Prayagraj, my city couldn't even breathe. because it's the closest to Prayagraj, right? It's just a 3-hour drive. And my city couldn't even breathe. Arjun, I'm not even kidding. There were people everywhere. We were not able to leave our own houses because of that.
Oh, really?
Really.
So the city wasn't shut down almost.
I mean, and you know, that's the saddest part. I mean, why do you not take, public transportations? We have buses, we have so many things. Maybe travel in that, no? You'll take your car, you'll bring 10 families in 10 different
Yeah.
cars, and that city has narrow streets that make it really tough for cars to function on the road. So, definitely, yeah. So, I would want, even for the people coming, just make sure that you come at a time which is not the peak of the tourism time, because when you have to visit Kashi, right? Whenever there's a festival coming, whenever there's Dev Deepavali happening, that's also a very, very famous festival of Banaras. It's always all over the internet. The celebrities come to witness that. So, yeah, I mean, I would really want the hustle bustle to reduce a little.
And what is the belief? I believe that if someone is cremated
Yeah.
on the Ganges,
Yeah.
there's meant to be a very big blessing or
Yeah.
What
yeah.
is that?
So basically, it's believed that if the ashes are drained in the
Dispersed?
Ganges, yeah, so that person directly reaches heaven. Like they directly get to reach heaven without any problems.
And that's known as moksha?
Moksha,
Yeah.
exactly. I wanted to use that word, but I wasn't sure if people will be familiar with that or not. So it's like even if you're born in Banaras,
Yeah.
your moksha is your end.
Okay.
Like that's your destiny. That's the destiny that I've been born with because I was born in Varanasi. So it's actually quite unbelievable. So there was a very fascinating thing that happened in that city recently. So the houses were being broken, which were on illegal land, and one house was broken, and they digged in deeper for that house, and there were shivlings found of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So can you imagine? Like it's very rightly said that that whole city is made on a shivling, and such things keep happening. Like they don't even surprise us.
Something else that's quite famous about your city?
Yeah.
Banaras, what do you call it? Banaras, Varanasi.
Banaras, Varanasi, Kashi. It has multiple names.
And Banaras is from British colonial days, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So something famous about Banaras is, I think, the food, right?
Oh
the
my
food there is quite
god,
unique.
that's my favorite part to talk about, dude. So everyone loves desserts, right? I mean, desserts is everyone's favorite, and Banaras has the oldest dessert shops in the world. And if you eat that little thing, one is made out of milk, purely milk. One is made out of, just any dry fruit, they'll just take tons of dry fruit, they'll just mix it and they'll make a sweet out of it. It's just insanity. I mean, I've never had food. I've heard so much about Delhi food, and I love Delhi food, to be very honest. I find that very yummy. But the particular things that Banaras has to offer, like Pani Puri, that hits the ground, dude. You cannot tell me otherwise. You can. The chaat. So there's a very special chaat that is just Banaras limited, and it's called the tomato chaat. The tomato chaat. Yeah. And dude, people from places come just to eat that.
Wow.
So I was at the chaat shop, and there was this guy. He was from, I think, Madhya Pradesh or somewhere, and he's like, I'm only here to try this. Would you tell me a better place to,
wow.
a better place where I can eat this? And he was a food vlogger, and I was like, oh yeah. So he was quite impressed. He told me that, I haven't seen such variety of food anywhere.
So it's big for food tourism as well.
Yeah,
Very
definitely,
big.
yeah. And even the lassi, the buttermilk,
Uh-huh.
dude, it's so famous. So there's a shop known as Blue Lassi at Assi Ghat. That man has been selling lassi since forever. Like, it's like first the grandfather used to do, then the dad did, now the son is doing, then the son, then the, it's inheritance kind of that, yeah.
Passed
So-
through the generations.
Yeah, just being passed on to
And the
generations.
ingredients have been kept the same. It's-
Same, and it's like it's the most. I mean, that's what I tell you. I've been to so many places I've traveled so many places in the world, also everywhere, but there's nothing that can match the food that Banaras has to offer.
So
you.
you'll have places that have been around for generations,
Yeah.
rich in heritage, tradition, and flavor.
Everything, you know.
That's
I've-
being consistent.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had cuisines, like so many cuisines. To be very honest, I think I've tried almost all the cuisines in the world, but nothing beats Banaras and the food that it has to offer you. And there's also one thing very famous about my city, and there's a song on it as well. It's the pan.
Fun.
Pan. So basically, pan is a leaf that is an edible leaf, and you put in a lot of things inside, and that's something that's very famous in my city. That's also something that people come for, and it's rare, you don't find it everywhere. So yeah, I mean,
So there's some variations of food that are just unique to Banaras.
yeah, I mean, you just cannot find it anywhere now. Maybe now I recently went to Delhi and I saw this chaat place that's in Banaras, and they've just bought the franchisee there. So all of that is happening now. But come on, I mean, eating it in a very, you know, rustic place with people who are just chilling in their own world. You're just eating your own food. They're happy, you're happy. That's just something that another city will not give me.
So it's a vibe you cannot replicate.
You can never. You can bring the food to your city, but you cannot bring the vibe there. I'm sorry.
For those who have never visited your city, what
Yeah.
are the top 3 dishes you'd recommend they?
Oh my god, perfect. So I will definitely ask them to have the chart. Like, there's no missing out in it. Do not even miss that. The second would be lassi at Blue Lassi or Ramnagar Lassi. It's amazing. I mean, you'll lose your mind once you take a sip. And the third would be to end your day, either go get a dessert from a old dessert shop or just bite on a pan.
What
And you're
kind of
sorted.
dessert are you talking about besides the pan?
So there are like desserts that they make just out of raw milk. And I really wish to know what they do in there to get the flavors and all of that. I really wish I could understand one day, but I think it's just their secret recipe, so none of their competitors, Haldirams or anybody can just, you know, copy.
And for chaat, you're talking about the tomato chaat, which you recommend?
Yeah, tomatoes. I mean, you'll trust me, if that's something that you can find me elsewhere with the same vibe, I mean, I'll be mad at the people who are doing it there.
Beautiful.
Also, the very famous Ganga Aarti,
Uh-huh.
the Banaras ritual. So there's a Ganga Aarti where they worship the Ganges, and it's, you know, you can, all of you can in fact just search it on the internet also. That it's a different vibe. You just feel as a whole, once you attend that, you come back stronger. And there's, you can't tell me otherwise, you know. That's what I've been using frequently, because there are things that are just Banaras limited, and you cannot change that.
You're talking about this Ganga Aarti.
Yeah.
I think we've seen a lot of tourism ads
Yeah.
geared towards the West, Incredible India.
Yeah.
And always there's a snapshot of someone
Exactly,
doing
exactly.
with how would you describe Aarti? It's like
I mean,
candles.
Yeah, candles.
And then they're doing this-
Yeah, it's a plate,
It's a
big
prayer.
plate. Yeah,
a
and
big-
they're doing this.
and this
yeah.
is where that traditional, quintessential, cultural
Yeah.
richness
Yeah,
can be viewed. Right?
Yeah, and you know, they're just, you know, taking their God's name on loop, on loop. And there's so much power, so much energy in them, you know, when they're doing it. It just feels beautiful.
I have been there once during that time, and
Yeah.
the atmosphere was a bit electric.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
quite energetic. I don't know, something about it was.
So, you know, even if you're feeling down, it's a very bad day, just go there. It's a 30-minute thing. Just sit, enjoy with them. You know, if they're shouting the God's name, you also do it. You also take your God's name. And when you come back, you'll just feel a different version of yourself. Yeah, I mean, definitely.
How interesting.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Anshika,
Thank you
for
so much,
sharing
Arjun.
about your city.
Yeah.
It's obviously a city that's rich in culture,
Yeah,
heritage,
yeah.
and also food.
Yeah.
And normally we have a closing tradition on
Yeah.
these chats,
Yeah.
which is for anyone watching. Do you have any piece of advice you think they'd maybe benefit from?
So, like I talked about, life is really small. So, live it king size. Have all the fun in the world. You don't know how long you're here for. So, just live in the moment, enjoy the present, and the future will be taken care of.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good point to end on. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Anshika.
Thank
and,
you.
catch you around.
Yeah.